Hi, welcome to the BellisarioSonic YouTube channel. I'm coming to you here from the heart of the Deep South, on the outskirts of Birmingham, Alabama, where we're talking about music, records, doing record reviews, interviews, and more. I appreciate you guys coming by the channel. I've just been very busy lately, so I haven't done quite as many videos here. But if you guys missed a wonderful conversation I had with Alessandro Bianchini, the wonderful musician that played on this awesome album here called MySpace 24, as well as the other album back here, 10-5. Go check it out. I had a wonderful conversation with him where he talked about his musical upbringing, his love for jazz music, and the making of these two fantastic albums on the Bird Box label, both audiophile releases that sound fantastic. Today I've got a wonderful review for you guys on CD off the Cellar Music Group label. I've been wanting to get to this one. I've been listening to this one in my car. This is a really cool album by Marcello Carelli called First Impressions. This came out just recently, June 13th, 2025. This is a really cool album. I'm going to play a few cuts from this, my favorite tunes. I'm pretty familiar with this CD. Wonderful. It's only available on CD at this point, but well worth owning, well worth adding to your collection. He is a drummer, composer, and arranger, and he recently earned his master's degree in jazz studies at the University of Southern California's Thornton School of Music. He was a teaching assistant for two-time Grammy Award-winning drummer and composer Peter Erskine, and he has played in the award-winning Thornton Jazz Orchestra, directed by Bob Mintzer, for 2 years. Bob Mintzer is the tenor saxophone player who's playing on this album as well. He received, Marcello received his undergraduate degree in studio music and jazz at the University of Miami's Frost School of Music, and he was a Stamps Distinguished Ensemble Scholar there, having been chosen out of many applicants to play in a jazz quintet for 4 years with some of the finest musicians in the country. When he's not making music, apparently he is into broadcasting. He was a host of the Frost School of Music's weekly radio show, the Frost Jazz Hour, on WDNA 88.9 FM. He also co-hosted a sports debating segment called Head to Head on the University of Miami's Emmy Award-winning TV show, UMTV Sports Desk. This album here is his second album. He says the album encapsulates the variety of genres that he's explored over the years, and most of these tunes on this CD are his, with the exception of one that I think is a Joe Henderson tune, but arranged by Marcello. So I'm going to pick out a couple of my favorite tunes on here to play for you guys. Really cool album. I'll give you a little closer look at this here as we listen to the music. But I'm going to play, I definitely am going to play the first tune off here called Ahead of the Curve, playing on my trusty Oppo CD player. And let's crank this up. Going into my Yamaha HS8 speakers. Track 1 is called Ahead of the Curve. We have Russell Ferrante on piano, Mike Gurrola on bass, Bob Mintzer on the tenor. Of course, Marcello is on the drums. Recorded at Tritone Studios in Glendale, California, February 2nd and 3rd, 2024. by Tally Sherwood and mastered by Dave Darlington, another wonderful mastering engineer. Nice matte bass sound. Drums sound really good. Piano nice and warm. Lively sound to it as well. Says he came up with a lot of these tunes when he was getting his master's degree at the University of Southern California at Thornton School of Music. Nice. I like that tune a lot, and I like this next tune as well called Navigating the Maze. I'm going to play that one for you guys, then maybe I'll play one more. The whole album is wonderful listen. Kind of this hard bop, post-bop kind of thing going on. Definitely more of a modern feel to this. A little bit different things going on here than you would get in a traditional hard bop record. Compositions are a bit more complex, but absolutely wonderful and very catchy. I've listened to this in my car, and some of these tunes are just really, they grab you and they're memorable. I really like this one, and I'm going to play one called Wanna Bounce. It's really cool. one of these CDs that's introduced me to musicians that I really hadn't heard before or only heard in passing here and there. So I've never heard of Marcello before. I have heard of Bob Mintzer, a couple of different albums he's been on. Ferrante, not really familiar with him. Mike Gurrola on bass, not really familiar with him. So this was another one of those cool releases that introduced me to yet some spectacular musicians that I wasn't very familiar with. And again, this has a very lively sound to it, almost like a live recording. Very nice, but it just sounds very lively. You hear them bantering in the background a little bit. Nice tonal balance. The recording sounds really nice. There's some decent depth to it. Love it. Love the dynamics. Cymbals on the drum sound really nice over here to the right. All the tunes range from like 5 minutes up to like 7.5 minutes. So there's a lot of room for compositional development and a lot of great playing by everybody. I mean, listen to the drums. Nice. Let me play, I'm going to play track 4, which is called Record on Me, which is a Joe Henderson tune that he rearranged. It's pretty cool. And then we'll close out with Wanna Bounce. Yeah, so for those of you guys that kind of that post-bop thing, I think you're going to dig this album. they sound. Got really nice resonance off of them. They sound pretty good. It's one of the first things I listen for. Of course, the playing's incredible. That one was called Recorded in May, and that's a Joe Henderson tune arranged by Marcello, and we'll close out on Wanna Bounce. Again, all original tunes with the exception of the last one. This is a cool tune here. But you got 10 tunes on this album, so there's a lot of music. Again, recorded at Tritone Studios in Glendale, California, over 2 days, February 2nd and 3rd, 2024. Just released June 13th of 2025 on the Cellar music label. And Corey chose well again, another great release. Appreciate you guys joining me. I got a lot more stuff coming up. Some vinyl reviews coming up. Some more CD reviews. There were a couple of vinyl reviews I was going to do. I kept getting bad pressings, so I had to send them back. And I'm either got to buy them on CD or just not get them. It's unfortunate. So yet again, another reason to own a CD player, in my opinion. Some of these are great albums they're putting out. But a couple of recent ones that I bought that I wanted to do vinyl reviews of, they were just bad pressings. One I got replaced that I've already done, and then I've got a couple of other ones I sent back and I just got refunds on them. I got tired of dealing with it. my conversation with Brad Turner and the review of this wonderful album. Go back and check that out. Great conversation with him. Great album here to pick up as well. Folks, I appreciate you guys hanging out, listening to some new music. Another wonderful review, Marcello Carelli, First Impressions on the Cellar music label. Wonderful kind of post-bop thing going on here. Great playing, wonderful musicians, cool compositions. Something that you really start listening to a couple times around, really start to really get into these. And there's a lot of memorable tunes on here, even though some of them are a bit complex. Another album that's definitely high on the repeated listenability factor, that when you listen to these tunes, there's always something to focus on because all these musicians are so fantastic. So one time through, you're going to listen to the pianist, Russell Ferrante. Of course, Marcello on the drums is always going to be a focal point, but you've got Mike Gurrola on the bass, a wonderful bass player. And of course, Bob Mintzer on the tenor saxophone. So there's something to focus on every time you make a pass around on this CD. And again, a lot of tunes, 10 tunes, and over an hour worth of music, or thereabouts, an hour. All right, folks, we'll see you on the next video. Take care. Happy listening.